Hey there, Heritage Middle School. This is Dr. Dom. This video is going to be just a quick overview of the basics of SmartPass so that we can get SmartPass rolling at full capacity. We're going to start by opening up the SmartPass app, which you'll see on my screen here in the upper left-hand corner. All of you should have the SmartPass app downloaded to your iPads. When you open that up, you should see this. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in as Hayes. And what that's going to do is open up this login page for Clever. The way you're then going to sign in is hit login to Google, and then you will get fully signed in to your Google account through Clever, and then it will redirect you back to the SmartPass app. So this is what the home page of the app is going to look like for you. Okay, and to keep this really simple, there's two buttons you really need to worry about, and that is the two that are right here that say Create Pass. You are going to be in charge of your passes here at Heritage Middle School, specifically when you're going to leave the classroom to go to the restroom, go to the office, the nurse, etc. You are responsible as the student to fill out a pass before you go anywhere. So usually you're going to click the Now button where it says Create Pass. So the way that this is going to work is could change between teachers, so make sure you check in with your teachers, but for the most part, if you need to go to the restroom, you're going to raise your hand, you're going to ask your teacher to go to the restroom, they're going to give you permission and probably tell you to create a pass. At that point, you are going to hit Create Pass Now, and this will come up. Now, initially, you will see a big long list of every teacher and location in the building. So if you have not yet set your favorites, which I'll go over here in a little bit, then all you got to do is either scroll and search to where you're coming from, or you can just search it here. So we're going to say, I'm coming from Miss Armelio's class. So that'll pop up, I'll click that, and then it'll ask me where I'm going to. Two ways, you can search it, or you can go down to these options and select. So let's say we're going to the restroom, and since I'm coming from Miss Armelio's class, which is on the third floor, where I'm going to be using the restroom is the 300s bathroom. Make sure that when you select the location you're going, it's the correct one, specifically the closest one. So if you're unsure the first couple times you use this, make sure that you ask your teacher what the closest restrooms is so that you can make sure you are getting the accurate location. So I'm going to select the 300s bathroom, and then you can adjust the time that you think you're going to be gone with this little slider button. In reality, to go to the restroom, we're giving everyone 7 minutes to make that round trip from classroom to the restroom and back. If a trip to the restroom takes a little bit longer, it's not the end of the world. You will notice that on your pass, it'll mark it as you've been gone too long. Just make sure you're communicating with your teacher when you get back so that they know that you weren't gone for 25 minutes outside of class. Okay, go to the restroom, handle your business, do what you got to do within a reasonable time for handling that responsibly. So once this comes up, we're going to say 7 minutes. I'm going to hit Start Pass. So then on my screen is going to be this. It's going to count down that 7 minutes, and it's going to be blue here in this instance because I'm using the restroom. Now, what you are going to do with this is one of two things. If you were creating a pass to go somewhere like the restroom or the drinking fountain, somewhere where it's just I'm going there and back and there's no adult I need to check in with, you're going to leave your iPad in your classroom where your screen is viewable for your teacher. So what that does is it prevents you from having to take your iPad into the restroom or to the restroom. But the biggest thing is it allows your teacher to keep a visual in front of them so that they know who's gone, how long have they been gone, and do I need to check in on them. In the event that they need to find you, when you leave that iPad, they're going to be able to know exactly where you are, and they should find you in that location if that needed to happen. So again, your teacher is either going to designate a spot in the room for you to put your passes, or you're just going to keep it on your desk and turn it towards your teacher so that they can see it when you're gone. Now, the biggest thing to creating passes is going to be when you return. When you return, you have to end your pass. And the way that's going to work is you just click the End Pass button. If you don't end it, then it will continue to time. And what that's going to end up doing is set an alert for the office to then check in on you to say, hey, why were we gone for half an hour for a restroom break? So make sure every time you go somewhere, you are ending your pass once you are finished with that trip, whether that be to the restroom, the drinking fountain, or let's say the office or the attendance office or the nurse's office, so on and so forth. The other way that you will handle a pass, and so in the first example, you leave the iPad in your room. The second example would be if you're going somewhere where an adult is receiving you. So let's say that you're going to another classroom, or you're going to the library or the office or the nurse's office. In those situations, you are going to take your iPad with you. That way, the teacher who is receiving you, or the person, the adult who is receiving you, knows where you're coming from, that you have permission to be where you are, and then in the event that that pass needs to end and you need to create another one, that way the iPad is there for you to be able to do that. So again, bathrooms, leave your iPad. Pretty much anywhere else, you're going to take your iPad with you, especially if you're going to a location where an adult will be receiving you. So I'm going to go ahead and end this pass, hit end, and now you will see down here all the ended passes that I've had. The next thing I want to show you is in your settings, in the upper left-hand corner, if you hit that settings button, you will be able to select your favorites. So if you hit favorites, you can go in and select your closest locations, or specifically your teachers, so that all of them are saved up at the top. So for Hayes, I'm going to say the attendance office is one of his favorite places. So I'm going to select that. You might have to click it a few times before it saves, but you'll notice now it's in my favorites. So the next time that I go to create a pass, if I'm coming from the attendance office, it's going to be saved right there at the top, so I don't have to search, and I can just select that, or if that's where I'm going. So you can set that up on your end just for the sake of ease, and making it a little quicker for you to create those passes. That is the basics. A couple things to note. One of the things that we'll be doing is we'll get a report that shows all the excessive passes. So that could be whether you've taken too many passes, whether you have been gone for too long out of classes, or it may be something where a teacher notices you're not where you said you're going, and they can report you on their side of SmartPass. Any of those instances, you'll most likely get called down to the office, and just for us to try to understand what's going on. The biggest thing is, yes, we want you to have responsibility to be able to leave and do your thing, but at the same time, the number one priority here at school is to be in class. And so that is our priority, is to ensure that you're not overusing those passes. Otherwise, there can be restrictions added to where you won't be allowed to leave class as much. And so again, just handle things the right way, be responsible, and everything should be fine from there. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us in the office. Feel free to ask your teachers. Everyone's kind of getting used to this, so we are all very patient and understanding, but make sure you ask those questions if they come up and if you're having any issues. I think that is it for me and SmartPass today. More will come as we progress throughout the year and updates happen and we learn more about this system. But for now, that's all we got. Have a great day.